Okay, we should be live streaming now.
Perfect. Hello YouTube.
Hello LOC. Alright, let's just get it up on here, make sure we can see it. I've just got the notification, I don't know about you. Testing. Bit of a delay. Apologies, early viewers. Very behind. Testing. Yeah, we're good. Cool. Alright.
Right.
Hello LOC. I should probably post the link into the thing as well. That would be very helpful, wouldn't it?
That would probably be very helpful, yes.
It doesn't matter though, because even if you're watching it on record, it's fine. Here we go.
We will eventually start. It's a couple of full starts here.
Everybody knows, first 2 minutes of the podcast, this is what you get.
Yeah, you skip over, it's fine. This is where I usually talk about the weather and...
Okay, so hello, welcome to the LOC report. I'm joined again by Coach Merritt, which is historic because I'm pretty sure he's never done 2 episodes in a row, let alone 2 in the same season. So, welcome, Coach. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Good.
For my second one in a row. It's crazy.
Might be more in the future. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
And as you can see, we're recording in a slightly different way today because me and Chris had, I think, off-camera discussions at the end of the show he was in last week. I can't quite remember what that was. 2017 review, that's the show. And we were saying, oh, it'd be great to, have the screen in the background, and then, we could talk over it. And I thought, well, I'm pretty sure I can do this. I've done quite a lot of video stuff for the LOC over the years, so I thought, let's have a whack at it, and here is the result. Looking good so far. I'm seeing myself on a stream, so we know we're going live. You've got a picture of us, so you still get to see our lovely faces, but more importantly, you get to see all the action as well. So what do you think of it?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, on Sunday, we even looking at the board at the mock draft picks, I could hardly read the board, so it was surprising that anyone else could. So this is a great new step in the future of the LOC Film Network.
Absolutely. And today we will be talking all things 2018, basically, because we have the Divsion review. I don't know what I named it, reveal, even though we know what they are, but hey, Divsion review, schedule review, as that is done now. I don't know if anyone's taken a look at their schedule this year. And then we have finally 2018 preview. We're not going to spend too long as I have stuff to do. But we'll give you a good punchy show like we have the last few. But to begin with, let's just go straight to the league news, of which there is actually some news for.
Actually, some
new news. Because the rankings are now available. The draft rankings, or my generic sheet that I provide for everyone, is now available. You can go look at that. Phil saw me putting it together hurriedly before the podcast. Disclaimer, I take no responsibility for anything in that ranking sheet. That is there for you to use if you don't have any material yourself. So if people are injured, I've put them down as the wrong team, put their bye week wrong, or if hell, I've just put them in completely the wrong order. That's not my fault. You should have had your own prep. But that's there for you to use if you want. So I sent it out early, so you can get started on that. Usually I only do it the day before and you only see it on the day, but now you can see it, so you can get a feel for it beforehand. Digital copy, so remember, bring a laptop or a tablet or something to the draft if you have it. If not, please print it out and bring it with you. We may be able to print it when we're there, but don't count on it. So
I will be printing, so if anyone needs a printout, I can provide. Good.
So yeah, that's good news. As always, draft Sunday, arrival time 10 AM. We will try and get going as quickly as possible. There will be no draft video this year to slow down the proceedings. So
this is highly irregular. I'm sorry,
but we have replaced it with the Hall of Fame inductees.
The Hall of Fame. Okay. So is there a video for the Hall of Fame inductees?
There is not.
The Hall of Fame video, so the introductory video is the best part of the draft. Every year, this is just great. Anyway, we won't go on.
Let's see what I can whip up on Saturday.
Discuss in the chat what are the reasons why.
Please comment as we go along. Please Facebook chat us. I have my phone here that I can actually look at once if you're watching. So I will if there is great clamour for a video, I will try and put a video together on Saturday. Fine. I didn't want a Saturday anyway, it's fine.
Absolutely, you need to work hard as Commissioner, otherwise other people will take over, Nathan. Is
there really a great threat of that, Phil?
Sorry, I got
10 years.
Yeah, it's true.
10 years.
That's true.
Yeah, so we're over 10. Yeah, make sure you bring your things. Subs £3. I keep saying, make sure you pay me, or you don't draft until you do. I will post my payment details into the chat straight after this, because I keep forgetting. Otherwise, please bring £3 to the draft with you. Other than that, I don't think there's any news at the moment, so we will just get to the bread and butter of the show. So, today we are talking, well, we'll start off with the Division review. That's a nice logical place to start off with. So, we covered the Division lining event and a few podcasts ago, so we won't recap the results of that. We will just look at each of the divisions. So, in Southampton this year, we have Southampton Knowles, Cash for Gold, Tom's Tyrants, and Detonators, so we've obviously got two former champions in that one. And I guess you could say two relatively green players, Ross, who retired a few years ago, and Cash for Gold, who, Ollie Gardner, or the one who shan't be named, I should say, who is obviously the newest member to the league. What do you make of the Southampton division?
This is quite a nice division to be in. No one's had, in the past couple of seasons, immediate success. So you're going to have someone here into the playoffs for the first time, potentially, or the first time in a couple of years. So, yeah, very good place to be, the Southampton division. I would definitely be happy to be in this one.
Certainly happy, I think, and on the division lining days, the winners of the event, basically because there was only six coaches there, the winners got to choose if they wanted their division first, and then the second place did, and third place obviously got what's left. They chose those players, obviously, because of the inexperience, and because of the recent track record, so it will be interesting to see if that tactic pays off come the end of the season. Was it a smart one, or, you know, could these potentially surprise and blow up in their face? But we'll see.
Exactly, yeah.
Portsmouth division, then we have ADRZ, Ixan, Footfires, and Tugfards. Now, this is a pretty tough division on paper, because this division has seen the Corona Bowl finalists. So ADRZ's made it the last 3 years in a row.
Yep.
Ixan has made it 2 out of 3. Am I correct in saying that?
I think so.
Yeah. So there are 5 Corona, and Chris won it last year. Six of the last. 6? No, that's not right. 6 of the.
You have the 3 previous winners are in here,
but
and then or the previous 3 people. Yeah. The previous 3 seasons.
So basically, in the last 3 years, only one team who's participated in the Corona Bowl is outside of this division. That's a pretty mental statistic.
Absolutely,
that's what I was going for. So that, on paper, is an absolutely torrid division for you, because you're the only one who's not in there last year. What do you make of the Portsmouth division?
Yeah, it's certainly the group of death. But to be fair, I've been in the same division now as Nigel and Ben for the past couple of seasons.
Yeah, it's an amazingly consistent division.
It's nothing new.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to be better than them, and we'll have a good draft, and we'll go forward, and we'll take on. We want to knock out Nigel. This is the aim this year. Try and get rid of him from the playoffs. He's had too many. He's approaching my record. Correct, yeah. And yeah, I think it could be an exciting year, and it's definitely an exciting league.
It reminds me a lot of I think it was the Portsmouth division from last year that had myself, my dad, and Pat in it. I think Cash for Gold may have been the 4th member there, which again on paper was like, geez, this looks like a pretty strong division, and it did turn out that way. It produced a 9-5 team and 2 8-6 teams, so very much same thing on the cards, I think, here as well. Finally, then Winchester division, we have Gridiron Gang, the Dream Team, Ben Necessities, and Pakistan. Again, pretty strong division on paper. We have 2 playoff teams from last year in Gridiron Gang and Pakistan, 2 former champions in Gridiron Gang and their Necessities, and the Dream Team, who have had their successes in the league as well. Would you make of the Winchester division? Yeah,
pretty even. Like Pat's definitely caught up with these 3. He's there roundabouts now. I think Dream Team had quite a disappointing season last, but he'll be raring to go. Gridiron Gang, Bare Necessities have been close past couple of seasons. So yeah, this is another stat league. Maybe not a group of death like the Portsmouth league, but it's definitely close. Close.
Absolutely. So that is your division review. As I said, we are going to be punchy today. So we'll get straight into the schedule, I guess, review, whatever. It's been revealed. You probably haven't looked at it, so we will cover that now. What we'll do is we'll go through each week, and we'll basically pick a marquee matchup for each week. You've got it there on your phone as well, I see. So we'll just read them off and then say what we like, and at the end, if we can remember, we'll pick maybe a favourite week. So in week 1, we have Gridiron Gang taking on Southampton Knowles, Bare Necessities against Cash for Gold, ADOZ against Tom's Tyrants, Forward Flies against Bedetonators, Pakistan against Ixan, and the Dream Team against the Tuck Frogs. Now, there's no major rivalries here in week 1.
Yeah, not really.
What can you pick out, if anything, from week 1?
I think the best game here is the defending champs taking on the Bedetonators. I really like the look of this game. You know, Ollie's always been a strong, consistent player. Yep. He's going up against Forward Flyers. Could be a good match. ADRZ also playing Tom's Tyrants. Also, you know, 2 historically strong teams going up against each other.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nail on the head there. And Bedetonators last year, of course, I think we looked in the division review. They had some really, really good weeks. They were very unfortunate in some weeks. I think we highlighted 2 weeks that if they didn't struggle a bit, they would have probably been a playoff team. Yeah. So I think you're right. That's an underrated good matchup for week 1. And yeah, when you have 2 experienced teams like ADRZ and Tom's Tyrants face each other, that's always going to produce good results as well. So I think those are 2 good matchups there. Week 2, then we have Bare Necessities against Southampton Knowles, Ixan against Cash for Gold, Tuck Frogs against Tom's Tyrants, Gridiron Gang against Bedetonators, Dream Team against ADRZ, and Forward Flies against Pakistan. Week 2.
Marquee matchup here, Gridiron Gang versus Bedetonators. Obviously, big rivalry here.
Founding teams.
I also like Dream Team versus ADRZ as well.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah. Another strong week 2.
Yeah.
I would say, definitely.
I wouldn't sleep on Forward Flies Pakistan either.
Oh yeah, that could get tasty.
That. Yeah, that could be juicy. Week 3 then. If my screen would load, there we go. Tom's Tyrants against Southampton Knowles, Bedetonators against Cash for Gold, Forward Flyers against ADRZ, the Tuck Frogs against Ixan, Bare Necessities against Gridiron Gang, and Pakistan against the Dream Team. Now, not only is this the first divisional week, so the first 2 weeks are interdivisional, it's playing teams outside of your division. This is the first divisional week, so not only is it key for that, but my golly, do we have some good matchups. I'll just read them off and then you can do the analysis. So we've got we've got Forward Flies against ADRZ, obviously a rematch of Corona Bowl 9. Tuck Frogs against Ixan, I think is a pretty good one too. Bare Necessities against Gridiron Gang, Father Sun Bowl 1 of the season. They will face each other twice, of course. And Pakistan against the Dream Team is another juicy one. Yeah. Tell me about them.
Week 3 is absolutely stacked. So the first one is obviously the Father Sun Bowl, Bare Necessities vs Gridiron Gang. That's a game steeped in tradition and history, obviously in the LOC. But there again, Forward Flyers versus ADRZ will be a dogfight because I'm sure that Nigel will be very annoyed at having lost his title and will be out for some vengeance there.
Yeah, I mean, 3s in a row they made the title now. Granted, they've come away with 1, but you would, and you know, whenever you do that, you'd definitely be hoping for more than 1. And it was not a close contest. If you recall last year, it was.
I remember the year after Ollie beat me in the Corona Bowl, and that was really the next game I played was really stuck in my mind, and I was I need to beat him right here or lose my sanity.
Absolutely. And we already had confirmation from Nigel in the group chat that, you know, there was some question about whether he'd be returning for this. Actually, no, it wasn't the group chat, but he's returning. Personal message to me, just checking if he was returning to the league, and let me tell you, he's got a passion. He wants to come back and get another one.
Even turning up at the draft.
You know he means business when he's turning up to the draft. Week 4 we have Southampton Knowles against Ixan, Tuck Frogs against Cash for Gold, the Dream Team against Tom's Tyrants, Pakistan against Bedetonators, Gridiron Gang against ADRZ, and Forward Flyers against Bare Necessities. So another interdivisional week. What are your highlights from week 4?
But this week's definitely not as good. But I'd probably say Gridiron Gang versus ADRZ again. Pakistan versus Bedetonators jump out as the best sort of games here.
Yeah.
Forward Flyers versus Bare Necessities. Week 4 is sort of that the time in the league where you have to start really nailing these results. People will be like
especially
0-3, and they'll need.
If you've had a slow start, absolutely, this is it's starting to be crunch time, because I did some analysis a few years ago, and I think the percentages if you make the playoffs. The percentages to make the playoffs if you go 0-3 are slim. If you go 0-4, it's almost practically nil. It's difficult.
The Tug Fards have spent the last, I think it's the last couple of seasons as well, either 0-3 or 1-2.
Yeah.
So we're usually in this position right now.
Week 5 then, we have Cash for Gold against Southampton Narwhals, the Detonators against Tom's Tyrants, Xan against ADRZ, Tuck Fards against Forge Flyers, Dream Team against Gridiron Gang, and Pakistan against Bare Necessity. So back to the divisional weeks. What jumps out in week 5?
Again, I wouldn't say there's a true favourite marquee matchup here. I guess it will depend.
There's a few good ones.
There's a few good ones. I quite like Bare Detonators versus Tom's Tyrants. Tuck Fards versus Forge Flyers is always a good game, and then the Dream Team versus Gridiron Gang. Noticeably good games here.
I would chuck into that because I think it's I think you hit on the head. There's no cream at the top of this week, but I think the whole week is pretty juicy, because I would chuck in Cash for Gold against Southampton Narwhals is a pretty good one, not only divisional rivals but two of the newest teams, so they'll be gutting it out against each other.
A relegation 6-pointer, I would say.
Xan against ADRZ, let's not forget that they featured in 2 Corona Bowls in a row together.
Yeah, very true.
Both taking one off each other, so that, and again, same division, so that's a big one. And again, Pakistan v Bare Necessities. I think every game this week you could argue is a good one.
Yeah.
Because that's a Division 1, that's 2 teams. One made the playoffs yesterday, one was very, very close to the playoffs, so I think all round that's a really good week. That's my highlight. I think that's going to be the best week of the year. Just because every game seems to be good there.
Yeah, he's put it out there.
I will just check, because we always like to highlight it. 1 second. Hey, come on. Thank you, everyone.
Hello.
You guys on it. And listen to us podcast. What? What? It is filming. You're not on camera, just walk around that way. Without kicking the webcam off, please. There we go, cool. This is what you get when you do a live podcast.
Sorry, we're not very professional here, so it's fine.
Yeah, we're live streaming on YouTube to 100 viewers right now. I'm joking, that's like
you can divide that
actually,
by,
the ones probably are.
You can divide that by at least 10. Probably more.
Probably more. Right, so so the Wimbledon NFL International, I know they are from the 2nd week of October through to the end of October, so let's try and deduce.
Oh, the Wembley games?
Yeah, the Wembley games, of course.
See.
Heralded right now, it's not helpful.
Yes, always an added feature.
While I'm doing that, we've done week 5, haven't we? So let's jump on to week 6. You tell the folks about week 6.
Okay, so week 6, we've got Tom's Tyrants versus the Southampton Narwhals, the Detonators versus Cash for Gold, Forge Flyers versus ADRZ, the Tuck Fards versus Xan, Bare Necessities versus Gridiron Gang, and Dream Team versus Pakistan. My marquee matchup here, probably the Father-Son Bowl again. This is their 2nd divisional match, so it will definitely be one that's very important. Obviously, it's also Forge Flyers versus ADRZ, so there'll be some added fireworks in that, especially if one of the people loses in the first round and then fancy some vengeance in the 2nd. It's a week 6 again. I think it's sort of a repeat of week 3. Very
it
strong.
is. So it's the exact same. The way the schedule works, you basically jump weeks around.
Absolutely.
This is the same matchups as week 3. So again, another Division 1. But added juice to it. It is the first Wembley game week.
Okay.
So we have a Wembley Bowl game between the Father and Son Bowl doubles as a Wembley. Wembley Bowl.
That's big. Yeah.
And I can't remember who else was going to the game. I think what is the first game? Pat might be going to that one.
What game is that?
It is Seattle Seahawks against. It's helpful. It's only telling me one side of the.
Yeah, I have no idea who's going to that one.
No, it's not.
Are there no games at Twickers?
No. There was going to be one at Tottenham because of that stadium. So that's the Seahawk game. I think that might be the only one. Yeah, it's looking like it. So that's a really juicy game for that week for many reasons. That's either going to be a very, it's probably going to be a very awkward drive home.
Yeah.
So that's the 6 o'clock game too. So this game will actually have during the stadium. That's not going to be a fun day for me. No. Week 7 then we have Pakistan against Southampton Knowles, ADRZ against Cashford Gold, Tom's Terrace against Forge Flyers, the Dream Team against Detonators, Ben Estes against Ixan, and Gridiron Gang against the Tuckfards.
This is it. This is the marquee matchup for this season. Definitely a rivalry here between Gridiron Gang and Tuckfards. They've had some epic battles in the past.
We have. You come out on top more often than not, I think.
I think so. To Nave's to Nave's frustration, but I've come up with a few
trophies.
yeah, he's got one trophy compared to mine, but I've bested him out with these games. So it's a great match in the scheme of the LOC, and one that's always going to be an LOC sort of marquee matchup each week.
Yeah.
I also like Dream Team versus Detonators, Tom's Tyrants versus Forge Flyers. Some pretty good games there.
Yeah, definitely. This is also a Wembley game, so let's just see. It is the Titans game, so Chris is going to this one, along with me, Ollie, Tom, and my dad. So let's just have a look. See, we do have a Wembley ball, in fact, between Tom and Chris. So that's going to be. I believe these are the early kickoffs on this one, but still makes for a good week.
Absolutely.
Week 8 then we have the Detonators against Southampton Knowles, Tom's Tyrants against Cashford Gold, Tuckfards against ADRZ, Foot Flyers against Ixan, Pakistan against Gridiron Gang, and the Dream Team against Bare Necessities.
I'm going to put myself in again for the marquee matchup. I'm going to put Tuckfards versus ADRZ. This has become sort of a division rivalry here over the past 3 seasons, because I seem to always end up with Nige. But also, obviously, not forgetting Forge Flyers versus Ixan, the big, possibly the
Friendship Bowl.
The Friendship Bowl, and big rivalry here. So 2 big games in that same division.
Yeah, definitely. Pakistan against Gridiron Gang as well last year. As I said, both teams made the playoffs from the same division, so 2 teams that have been familiar with each other in recent memory. I think you got it right there. So week 9, sorry, that is also the last Wembley week actually.
That's the Jags game.
And it is the Jags game. Are you coming to that? I can't remember.
I might be coming to the Jags game.
We had this conversation.
Depending on money, I might be coming to the Jags game.
So then I think, looking down, there might not
Pat,
be.
You and Pat?
There's no, Pat won't be coming.
Okay.
We only have 1 extra ticket, so no Wembley Bowl that week. Shame, but we've been treated to 2, so it's fine.
Absolutely.
Week 9, Forge Flyers against Southampton Knowles, the Dream Team against Cashford Gold, Pakistan against Tom's Tyrants, ADRZ against Detonators, the Tuckfards against Detonators, and Gridiron Gang against Ixan. Nothing really pops off the page from here.
No, not really. Maybe you and Ben playing against each other, Pakistan versus Tom, but not a thrilling week. We'll just have to see the standings.
The only reason I would say Ixan v me is not an interesting game is because the history of that matchup, how many times Ben has beaten me. We could probably just chalk that down as a Ben win right now.
For Ben, it probably is the marquee matchup. Yes.
Week 10, Southampton Knowles against the Detonators, Cashford Gold against Tom's Tyrants, Tuckfards against ADRZ, Foot Flyers against Ixan, Gridiron Gang against Pakistan, and Ben Estes against the Dream Team. So another divisional week in week 10. What do you make of it?
Yeah, again, it's just a couple of weeks apart from the reverse games of those. So again, Tuckfards, ADRZ, Forge Flyers, Ixan, Gridiron Gang, Pakistan. I guess it will be again dependent on standings about what marquee matchups are.
Definitely,
but again, very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. Week 11, ADRZ against Southampton Knowles, Forge Flyers against Cashford Gold, Gridiron Gang against Tom's Tyrants, the Dream Team against Ixan, Ben Estes against Detonators, Pakistan against the Tuckfards. So this is an interdivisional week, and there are a lot of rivalry games in this week.
There are. Let's go down the list. So ADRZ, Southampton Knowles, Forge Flyers, Cashford Gold,
Gridiron Gang, Tom's Tyrants.
The first big one.
First big one.
I don't know how how you face up against Tom, but I can imagine that's got quite.
You beat me in Current Ball 3. but I can't remember. I think we're pretty even on our game by game splits.
So nice even game. Two very successful teams between two good friends. Definitely a great game. Dream Team versus Ixam.
That's got some bubble to it.
Absolutely. Bare Necessities versus Bare Destinations. Yeah, always a good game. And then this
the
is
biggest of them all, definitely
the biggest of them all. It's the Manchester Derby. It's the El Clasico. It's Pakistan versus the Tuckfards. This has turned into a real heated one, and the Tuckfards are 0-3. I think they're 0. Is that 0-3?
I think you are. Yeah.
It's 0-3. So we're kind of desperate for a win over Pat.
Unless you both make the playoffs and meet each other, it's going to be your only chance for another year. So.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think last season we lost to Pat. I thought it might be quite early in the season, and then so it was the chance was away. So. We've been waiting a long time for this. We're ready for
Got a bit more waiting, but I'm sure you'll have that one
absolutely
on the calendar. And it's crucial for playoffs as well. Let's not forget that's week 11. That's a pretty key time in the calendar in the LOC. All right, so big game then. Week 12. The Dream Team against Southampton Knowles, Cash for Gold against Pakistan, Tom's Tyrants against Ixan, ADRZ against Bare Necessities, the Tuckfards against Bedednades, Gridiron Gang against Forge Flyers. So I will highlight what I think of the interesting games this. So we've got Tom's Tyrants v Ixam, that's quite a good one. The Colleague Bowl, or former Colleague Bowl. ADRZ against Bare Necessities, sorry. Then another big one, obviously the Tuckfards against Bedednades. Well, we obviously know you thrashed him in the regular season usually. But Ollie beat you that one time in the playoffs when he mattered the most. And Gridiron Gang for Flies, which again, the podcast bowl.
Absolutely. This is a big week. This is a really big week in terms of rivalries, and obviously it's only a couple of weeks now until the end of the season at this point. I really like the podcast bowl here. There's always good chat right before and after this matchup. Also ADRZ obviously versus Bare Necessities. That's I think that one game for Nige and Dave that they really want to come out of. But also the Tuckfards versus Bare Destinations is a game, probably one of the most historic matchups in the LOC.
Yeah, absolutely. Two family teams.
I think it was up until like a couple of seasons ago, the Tuckfards had a perfect regular season record against the Bare Destinations, minus obviously that game which no one wants to talk about. So that's obviously a huge game in this one.
Such a crucial time of the year as well.
Absolutely.
Week 13 then, penultimate week of the season. It's a divisional week. Southampton Arms take on Cash for Gold, the Detonators take on Tom's Tyrants, ADRZ takes on Exan, Tuckfards take on Forge Flyers, the Dream Team takes on Gridiron Gang, and Pakistan against Bare Necessities. Boy, it's another good week.
The Dream Team versus Gridiron Gang, like that really that comes up for me. Tuckfards versus Forge Flyers, that's always a good game.
We've got again another rematch of the previous Corona Bowls between ADRZ versus Ixan. This time that could be deciding which one of them goes to the playoffs or not.
Absolutely.
Another
Bare Destinations versus Tom's Tyrants as well, good game that.
And maybe even a battle to avoid last place if we're looking at maybe a history, a bit harshly, a bit presumptuously, but Southampton Knowles v Cash for Gold, you know.
I hope Ollie and Ross are watching this, so it gives them some motivation here for this season. They can really. We don't view you as relegation candidates, but on past form.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Then the final week of the season, then we have Cash for Gold take on Gridiron Gang, Tom's Tyrants for Bare Necessities, Southampton Knowles with the Tuckfards, Detonators against Ixan, the Dream Team against Forge Fighters, and Pakistan against ADRZ. So an interdivisional week to finish up the season.
Tom's Tyrants versus Bare Necessities, big game here. Bare Destinations versus Ixan, that's also a big game. Not a huge amount of huge games here and rivalries, but certainly some tough games to end the season and potentially to gain a playoff place or to even win the regular championship. So this week, of course, as every year it is week 14 will be important. So
definitely. And that is your 2018 schedule. Favorite week for you?
I mean, week 3 and 5 were pretty stacked, and any time I have to play Pat really.
Yeah, I think so. If we take week 3 again, so that was the week 3, as you can see on the screen there. Week 5, which I think was the one I picked out. I can't remember what the one I picked out was.
I think 3 and 5 are both the same matchups. They're just the divisional games.
Right.
That's what I set up. Yeah.
Okay. I can't remember what week I really liked. I have a feeling it was. I think it was week 5.
Yeah.
I think it was week 5, or maybe week 6. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
There are lots of good weeks. So that is the 2018 schedule. So we will. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. We will take. Now look at a quick look at the 2018 preview. So and where else to start there really, but the draft. So I've just realised I'm not signed in, which is very helpful. So let me do that.
Oh my god, here we go.
Oh good, it just wiped my.
Watch him put his password in here.
Yeah, get it wrong. There we go. Right, so now if we look at the draft info, we'll see the order. So round 1. Pick number 1 overall, you, Phil. You know what you're doing with that pick. You don't have to say. But you know what you're doing with that pick.
I'm not going to tell you.
I didn't ask you to tell.
I have been thinking about it. Now my master's degree is over. I have been thinking about it, but for now.
Yeah, I wasn't asking you to. We don't like.
Yeah, I know, but
tipping.
I know. I'm not saying.
I have a sneaky suspicion you're going to be such a homer and go with Leonard for now. That's just it after taking Robert Gronkowski at 3 all those years. I know that blew up in your face, but on the time it was pretty ballsy.
Yeah,
I could see how.
We'll see. I've never picked first before.
No, you haven't. No.
That's the first. But I picked last season, so I'm used to picking 2 picks in a row. So, I'll be ready and raring to go.
Cool. So then we've got Southampton Arms at 2, Fortified at 3, Benasus is at 4, Pakistan at 5, Dream Team at 6, Tom's Tyrants at 7, Gridiron Gang at 8, Bed Adelaide is 9, ADOZ 10, XN 11 and Cash for Gold 12. Have you got any preview or big bold assumptions, predictions for the draft or anything like that?
You put me on the spot here.
What are you thinking? I'll say mine. So, as I was doing the rankings, and as I did give that disclaimer at the start, Marquise Lee is currently the 49th ranked receiver on that list. My big bold prediction is that Ben will take him again. take a second injury player.
Oh, you've named names.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going to say that someone would draft.
I'm going to go really bold. I will, as a backup, say that.
Yeah.
But if Ben watches the podcast here, he won't draft Marquise because they won't know. But if he doesn't, I reckon he will, and if he does, I reckon someone else will back.
Or someone drafts Eric Decker, who's recently retired as of yesterday.
So great. Have you got anything? It doesn't have to be about prediction. It can be an insight. Who do you think is going to have a good draft from their position? Who's going to have a bad draft?
I think one of the newbies can have a good draft here. It could either be Pat or it could be Ollie. It could even be Ross.
Ross,
I predict someone will make that step into having a good draft and really putting themselves into early contenders.
So I think Southampton now, this is the second year in a row they're drafting in the top. I believe they had the first overall pick last season. Cash for Gold. Something we've highlighted in really the past 2 years is they have been very fortunate at times to get the record they have. I believe there was 8-6 in their first year and 6-8 last year, and both of those years, when you look down, they're very fortunate to get that. Certainly the first year they drafted Ezekiel Elliott, so I think they were drafting in pick 6 or 7, something like that. I can't quite remember where they were drafting last year, but I think again it was kind of around pick 8 or something like that. Pick 12 is not an easy draft position because you have, you get 2 of the top 13 players essentially, or you get 2 picks in the top 13. But then there is a massive gulf between that and the next pick, so it's very easy to get caught out by a run, and if you mess up your strategy, it can ruin your whole team. So I don't want to predict doom and gloom, but based on what we've seen, they're usually very reliant on draft picks. I think it's fair to say, to carry them through the season. So I could definitely see a realistic season.
Yeah.
Based on what we've already seen.
Well, I can speak from experience from having drafted from 12th last season, and yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't get those banker players who will definitely get you points if they have like good games. So it's going to be difficult. I think, especially because Ollie has been drafted from much higher up, and you're not used to that situation. And although you do get two solid picks, it's very difficult then to adjust to that new strategy. Also, it's similar in my point of view, because I have been second and third a couple of times, but last season I was 12th, and now I'm first, and I obviously I'm going to get a very good player to start off with, but then I'll have 20.
Yeah, this is always the counter argument to people that some analysts will tell you that having 2 picks in the top 13 in a 12-team league is great. Then you flip it the other way around, it's like, well, the guy that's drafting number 1 has basically got 3 in the top 25, and if when you flip it around to look at it that way, the person drafting in 12th, they've got 3 in the first nearly 40 picks.
Yeah.
So it's a big difference.
Absolutely.
When you look at it that way.
Where did just a quick question? Where did everyone draft last year? The people who made it to the.
We can bring that up
because I think that would be.
This is the other benefit of doing it this way, because if I don't have something screenshotted, it's fine, because I can just go to it. There we go. Isn't it beautiful? We have Southampton Arms at 1, Goudan Gang at 2, I'm now at 8, Thomas Torrance at 3, I believe they are 1 ahead of me at 7.
Yeah.
Which Flies, they were 4. Do you remember what Chris was? I think it was about 5th maybe. I can just split this. I don't know why I'm trying to do this difficultly.
Yeah, so it was. Well, you were in the playoffs there. You were in the playoffs at. And you picked at 2, and then it was Chris who was at 4 last season.
So there we go. So Chris was at 3 last season. He's at 4. No, sorry, this season he's at 4 last season. Oh dear God, I didn't want to do that. Bare Necessities. They were 4 last season, and now drafting 4 again. Bedenators were 5th. Is that 5th?
6th.
Sorry, 6th.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bare Necessities were 5th last year, apologies, and 4th this season. Last year, Bedenators was 6th, this year 9th. ADLZ was 7th last year, this year 10th. Pakistan, 8th last year, this year 5. Cash for Gold, 9 last year, now 12. Ixan, 10, now 11. Dream Team, 11, now 6. And Tank Face, otherwise known as the Top Parts, from 12 to 1.
So it's only me. No one really has a massive jump except for me.
No.
Who goes from the other end of the spectrum.
I dropped down from 2, but yeah, you're right. You were definitely obviously going to be the biggest one, going from 12 to 1.
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting draft for sure. We can't really talk much about 2018 without having teams and everything yet, but we can do a nice little prediction of what teams do you see making the playoffs. So we can do a division winner and then 1 wild card based on absolutely nothing other than what we know about the divisions.
Oh man, that's tough. Where do you want to start?
Southampton division. We'll both say who we think.
This is tough.
Now I think we're both agreed probably it's a 2-horse race here between Tom Starrett and Bedenators.
Based on past form.
Neither of those teams even have had a particularly good last few years. I think
no.
Tom may have gone closest to the playoffs, or may have made the playoffs in 2015-16. But Bedenators, again, he's been sniffing but never quite punched in. I'm going to go Tom's Tyrants, personally.
Okay.
But it's definitely 50-50, I think.
I think Ollie's had a couple of seasons where it's been close, and I think on that basis, I'd probably say Bedenators have a better shot, whereas Tom has spent like a year or so in the wilderness, so he's got like a point to prove again. So I would say, based on form over the past couple of seasons, Bedenators probably has it, because he's had probably the best team, but just things haven't gone right for him.
Okay. Portsmouth division. So we've got ADLZ, Exan, Forge Flies, and Tug Fights. Try and pick one from this.
Well, I'm always going to back myself. But obviously my performance in a 12-team league hasn't been the best.
It's sunk in.
It hasn't.
The narrative has started.
It hasn't. Obviously, I've had a very good team. I had a very good team last season. I was blown out of water in some weeks and was very unlucky. But I would obviously back myself. But I guess ADRZ. I made the playoffs 5 times in a row. I don't think anyone's made it more than 3 other than that. So
yeah, I'm not
you
sure
would probably say that they will start as favourites going into it because of their form. Forge Flyers had a good team last season, had a great draft, but were very bad before that.
Yeah, they had a bit of a recovery in 2016.
Yeah,
still not a winning record yet.
And Ixan, they got close last season, so I think ADRZ are probably favourites. Based on previous form over the past couple of seasons.
I'm going to do this by process of elimination.
Okay.
The way I'm going to do it. First one I'm going to eliminate is ADRZ.
Ooh.
I know.
Bold.
Whenever you can speak to this, it's very hard to have sustained year after year success in the LOC.
Yeah.
We've got fresh teams each year. Getting a good team every year, I can speak from my experience as well, very difficult. It feels like an uphill battle constantly.
Absolutely.
ADLZ has been, I don't want to say the word fortunate because it's not all about the water draft year is definitely fortunate, especially specifically last year where it was almost a collectively drafted team.
Yeah.
He drafted his title team in 2015, 2016. I can't remember if that was an auto. I have a feeling it was as well.
Yeah.
He's ridden a certain amount of luck in that respect, but I think just after a while you can only have so many good seasons in a row before, not necessarily having a bad season, just not as good to get to the playoffs, if you get what I'm saying. So I correctly predicted doom for the Dream Team last year, which he's probably cursing me for. So I'm going to do the same for you, Nige. I'm also going to eliminate you again. I think you'll definitely have a better year, but I just have to go with it's like Ben Roethlisberger playing away from home. He just doesn't do well. Until you're showing me that you can do it in a 12 team.
It's igniting the fire inside me, right?
But I like it. Dark horse. Which leaves Ixan and Forge Flyers. This is a tricky one. For much the same reasons as you, I'm going to go Ixan because they've had that sustained success really for quite a few years now. But it's not been so much like ADLZ where they've really got to the playoffs every year. Obviously they didn't get to the playoffs last year, but they've drafted their own teams every year. They've obviously got a set system which they like, which is relatively proven. Forge Flies, absolutely tremendous season last year. No one can question that. That is hands down one of the best years we've seen. But as you quite rightly point out, that is the anomaly of the past really 4 or 5 years. So on that basis, it's a difficult one. But once you really have to put, as you saw for me, I really had to pull that apart to get to that part.
And I think the last thing, this is a last point on your elimination there of ADRZ. Like in my 6th season, the season after my 5th playoff season in a row, that was the first season where we went to 12. Yeah, I was leading. I think it was 1 week where I led the whole 12-team league, and then I collapsed. So,
in terms of wins, you mean?
In terms of wins, I think it was like midway through the season, I was first place out of the whole league, and then I collapsed. So there's still a chance for ADRZ. They can be like this Manchester United, which keep dominating.
Yeah, I think obviously with the new waiver system as well, we maybe won't see that kind of thing happen now. Potentially, but you're absolutely right. You can have those collapses. Finally, then Winchester Division, and then we'll go on and pick a wild card. We have Gridiron Gang, Dream Team, Benesus, and Pakistan. Division 1.
I'm loath to say Pat.
He's done it 2 years in a row now as well.
Exactly. Pat's definitely coming in as a sneaky little pick here. He's shown some good knowledge. He's shown some good decision making. And he really could do it, but the experience from the other 3 might just counteract him. That being said, apart from maybe the Dream Team, I think the Dream Team is the last team to make it to a Corona Bowl. And no other team in this has done that.
I think that's right.
Yet. So, I mean, you could pick any one of those four.
Yeah.
I did say that I thought that someone might step up, and I think Pat could be that person.
Okay. It's not really stepping up when you've made the playoffs 2 years in a row, but I get your point.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a good shot. I'm gonna go for Ben Necessities. Pretty quick answer from there. Obviously, I want to pick my own team, but I'm not just going to be a homer. I will pick Ben Necessities because last season we saw they were really having a good year until Aaron Rodgers went down, and it just cut the legs from underneath them. And when they sort of recovered from that, and okay, they were 4-6 heading into the last 4 weeks of the season, won all 4, nearly getting that. You know, if they didn't have that middle part where they were just kind of in flux, they would have been a playoff team, no problem. They do always seem, I don't know how they do it, always seem to draft the injury-prone players or the players that get injured. It seems to be a narrative every year, but it's usually masked by good waiver pickups and whatnot.
Yes.
We didn't really see that quite as much last season, but obviously still were sniffing in a playoff position. But I think just on the basis of consistency and reliability, I'm going to go with Ben Necessities.
Alright. Well, wouldn't you say that if you Ben Necessities last season were maybe a little bit too reliant on Aaron Rodgers and didn't draft well around him?
They were reliant on the sense that because they had quite a few Green Bay players.
Yes.
When he went down, it was almost like a reliance on him, but not necessarily him alone. His injury caused the other players to fall as well, which is, you know, if you're going to have multiple players from a team, I guess it's just going to be the case.
Yeah, that's my previous strategy.
Yeah. But as we saw, if they're healthy, it pays off.
Yeah.
If one of the skill players goes down, it's not a problem. When the quarterback goes down, big problem. Yeah. And that's unfortunately what happened.
Same thing for Wentz for me last season.
Yeah, definitely. Right then, so we picked 3 division winners. Just to recap, mine were Tom's Tyrants, Ixan and Ben Necessities. I think yours were Bedetonators, ADRZ, and Pakistan.
Yeah.
Who are you going with the wild card?
The Tuckfards are returning to the playoffs in the wild card position.
I'm going to refrain from being a homer.
You heard it there first.
I'm going to refrain from being a homer. While I think I'll sniff around, I might just fall short, though I hope I don't. That leaves me really between... I think for me it's between Pakistan and Bedetonators. I'm going to go with Bedetonators on the basis that I think they'll probably have a slightly softer division. Maybe don't pick up... Obviously the games against Tom will be difficult. Maybe pick up 3 out of 6 wins, maybe 4, getting 2 over Southampton Owls and Cash for Gold, or at least 3.
Yeah.
I think just that on alone, maybe 1 over Tom, and then that's 4 wins in the bag already. And then if they can get 5 from the rest of the league, that's only 50%. That's a 9-5 record. That'll be enough for the wild card. So on that basis, I'm going to go Bedetonators.
I definitely think the wild card will come from either Portsmouth or Winchester.
Okay.
See, the problem
with Winchester is it happens so often when you have so many good teams in one division, they all kind of hurt each other, and it just lets someone else sneak in from a maybe slightly softer division.
That's true.
Who knows? So that is your All Things 2018 podcast. Next time we come to, we'll be doing the draft recap.
We'll have teams.
And we'll be doing a Week 1 preview. So make sure you're around for that. I think Chris might be back next week, but if he's not,
that's it.
You can always join. Hey, we can always have a third as well. Don't worry. So, thanks for watching. We will see you next week. Best of luck for the draft. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.